I'm inclined to agree with Ketchup. I think that when it comes down to it, DaHanG might have an edge when it comes to the strategy and just the overall game sense, but when it comes down to the actual aim, the positioning, and those kinds of things, I think RAISY has been absolutely exemplary so far.
Well, and here we have the picks and bans. It looks like Awoken, Corrupted Keep, Veil, Molten Falls, and Ruins as the decider. Thoughts on the champion picks?
Clutch is in the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the one champion you want to get rid of if you're going to go up against RAISY. The man has perfected the robot like no one else and is a true threat when it comes down to it. So Awoken will just be the Doomslayer versus the Nyx as the first map.
I think the map choices do go in favor of RAISY. There's probably about 4 out of 5 maps he's really good on, and those 4 are there. Blood Run, RAISY isn't actually that great on, but DaHanG's already banned it for him, so you can't really complain. Blood Covenant, it's always been hit and miss for RAISY. We've seen him in the past where he has some good days and bad days. It doesn't even matter how good or how well on form he is. But Corrupted's there, Awoken there, Veil is there as well. He's got a very good picks to start off with, and you know he's going to try and get a clean cut series here. That's if he can even manage it, but it does look it could be a 3-0 or 3-1 for RAISY depending on how the map's actually going.
Yep, and it sounds like they are ready to go. RAISY versus DaHanG is coming up next. Winner will go on to face Wenger. Winner of that will go on to face Rafa in the grand finals. We're heading to the conclusion of the Quake World Championship, and it's now time to shoot it over to our casters. It's ZSX and 40 Lions.
Thank you, DJ. As we move into our next best of 5 in the lower bracket, RAISY versus DaHanG. The Godslayer versus the Accountant. By names alone, I don't know what DaHanG has in his favor.
I'm curious to see if RAISY's going to keep the pressure on even without the clutch right from the get-go here. As he makes his way over the rail in the heavy, setting up for these rockets. He might wait a little bit and see if he can get some damage or maybe trap as he gets LG. Has everything he needs right off the bat. That mobility from Doomguy so fast.
It is indeed. They both have very similar maneuverability, which is one of the reasons why DaHanG would have picked the Nyx. Also, having that Ghost Walk is going to be good utility, and I expect RAISY to be the one to put on the offense. But as he spoke about in his interview, and as we have saw earlier today against Chain, he has somewhat tempered his approach play, understanding that keeping games closer and not overcommitting will be his savior in a lot of these engagements.
In a blink of an eye, RAISY takes full map control now, and DaHanG does have the Ghost Walk, but he's playing so cautiously as he has to through the telly, and there goes the Ghost Walk immediately from DaHanG.
Early pressure, and this is where RAISY needs to make it count. You've got a good window of 30 to 40 seconds, depending on the vials, to try and capitalize on the fact that your opponent has no way to escape if you catch them off guard. And that's what RAISY wants to do here. He's got both major items now, and this is why we see him moving up to the high ground, using those audio cues, trying to trap DaHanG down here by the light. DaHanG doesn't go that way, but does eat a rail, and RAISY knows he's got it relatively cornered. It's another rail through the grid. Can DaHanG get away? No, he can't. Easy frag from RAISY. He's able to sweep away additional resources off the back of that.
That's such a beautiful rail, and Ghost Walk right off the spawn. DaHanG has to pop it to try and stay alive. RAISY doing a great job at keeping full map control the entire time.
It's been a perfect rotation of the major items so far, and DaHanG hasn't looked like he knows how to get a foot in. He needs to find a way to try and delay RAISY, cut him off, play that game to try and fall back on one of these items. But as you see, RAISY is being careful and silent around the map, nearly catching DaHanG off guard. Does want to push it. DaHanG needs to skirt himself away. 10 seconds before the Ghost Walk, so he needs to run because he doesn't want to take an engagement just now.
Good job of getting away into the LG room. Might wait near that telly, waiting for the drop. He hears the tribal get picked up, but stay for the time being. Goes through the telly, a rail from RAISY, barely missing out here. As Heavy is up, DaHanG might be able to steal that one as he does, but the LG so strong. Again, Ghostwalk coming up in the nick of time for DaHanG.
But he's left with absolutely nothing to work with him. RAISY finds him again through that hole. DaHanG takes a rail to the face. RAISY's looking for him off the spawn again. The Ghost Walk is consistently being bullied out by RAISY, so he knows that DaHanG cannot make a movement. And I do like the approach play from RAISY, playing silent. He's catching DaHanG off guard with these angles.
This is just such solid play from RAISY.
Rocket jump as well there. I like that a lot.
Caught out in the sewers. DaHanG playing so passive as he's essentially getting bullied by RAISY here. And as you mentioned, Ghostwalk is almost always down. He does have it available. RAISY's going to pressure and might get it out of him again here. LG from around the corner. Defensive rockets coming out, but no damage. Just trying to warn RAISY, if you come too close, I will hit you eventually, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, nice. And once again, the Ghostwalk's gone, and DaHanG didn't actually even hit RAISY in that engagement. So just look at the stack advantage. And this one of the paramount reasons why DaHanG's been on the back foot for so long is the fact that RAISY, he's delaying his Mega as well. Good play, increasing that split. Is the fact that RAISY's done such a good job of nullifying the stack of DaHanG, forcing out the Ghostwalk. And so what can DaHanG do in this situation except run?
Ghostwalk is going to be available briefly, but as you said, stack is incredible. For RAISY taking a high ground again. Ooh, big shotgun chunk here, looking for another one as DaHanG does get the heavy and a great rail. The rocket jump out from RAISY, he is available.
Oh, no way!
What a shot from RAISY, again capitalizing. Good damage from DaHanG there, but right off the spawn, RAISY capitalizes again with another rail, and the Mega's there. He's going to be able to Pac-Man the 50 shard in the middle as well before the heavy. The shotgun through the telly, is this going to be enough? The chase is on. Is DaHanG's LG strong enough? It's long enough. Down to 27 HP for RAISY. He's got to be careful here, but Heavy's going to be up shortly.
But there's plenty of time for the Mega, and it was RAISY that picks up those resources. So once again, DaHanG needs to try and position on that mid ground, but RAISY's not going to let him. Thought about doubling back through, but he knows something's awry, and what a read from RAISY. I can only assume he heard the Ghostwalk, doubled back because he was thinking of going through that teleporter to try and catch DaHanG off guard. And at the moment, RAISY is the one auditing DaHanG.
Absolutely taxing that ass for the time being here. It's almost as easy as playing a board game to RAISY. He's minimizing his risk. He's running a monopoly on the map. And I don't think he's sorry about it. These rockets through the telly, absolutely incredible here. As DaHanG super weak, needs to be careful. Look at that. RAISY was holding that angle, waiting for him to cross, and then realized, okay, you're pinned. Here's the LG. 5-0 for RAISY.
It's such a joy to watch RAISY in full flow, and it's what we spoke about in his clutch game earlier. He might be known for outright brute forcing damage with his lightning gun, but it is his rail play that really impresses me, because that is what creates these opportunities for him to follow up and just forges easy kills. Like, all of his frags so far more or less have been clean. This isn't the best, but once again, DaHanG has just been bullied. He's got nothing to work with. Tries to gauntlet RAISY. Cheeky play, but not enough.
Nothing else to do. He knew he was trapped. He saw RAISY was hunting him down. Tried to get whatever damage he could. A little bit of trouble from around the corner, but RAISY's going to push in and look for more damage, now forcing him towards Banana. Trying to go for the Mega. He does make a play on it. Is the shaft going to be good enough this time? The shotgun again coming up clutch for RAISY. 3 HP. Heartbreaking for DaHanG.
Absolutely heartbreaking, but to his credit, he has now an opportunity to follow up. He does miss a rail. That's key, because RAISY could get away but doesn't make it through the teleporter. This time, DaHanG does get on the map, and for the first time, he might have a full rotation of items. Tries to catch that angle through the teleporter, but he cannot execute it as well as RAISY has been doing all map long.
Won't get the rail, but needs to grab the items. This is going to be a good start. He's waiting a little bit. There's going to be still enough of a split for him to get back and claim this heavy as well. Ghostwalk is up in case things go terribly, as around the corner, RAISY waiting with rockets, and that forces DaHanG off the Mega.
DaHanG's in the perfect position to try and damage RAISY, but for me, DaHanG is just not hitting enough now, because there's a few opportunities here where he could have put a substantial amount more pressure on RAISY, but RAISY's getting out without taking anywhere enough damage from DaHanG. That's a good opening, but DaHanG himself takes a rail. RAISY's got position on the Mega and will just be able to skirt himself away. Doesn't even want to take this rail fight. Instead, doubles back with the shotgun, runs at DaHanG, but DaHanG this time does hit a couple of rails.
The rails he needs, and that's the frag that he needed. Less than 3 minutes, down by 5. The accountant has to try and speed things up here. Ghostwalk available again. Here's the jump pad, and look at that. The shotgun forcing out the Ghostwalk yet again, but RAISY's right on his tail. Shotgun on shotgun. RAISY is going to prevail. Blast to the chest, taking down DaHanG.
Messy frag from RAISY, but nevertheless continues his lead now, and time is slipping away from DaHanG, and it's hard to see where these frags are going to come from for these, considering that DaHanG hasn't had any semblance of control. There's been perhaps 1 or 2 rotations of the items that he's had, but each and every time, RAISY's been the one to then take the initiative of the defense and force a fight in and around one of the major items to wrangle back that control.
DaHanG had a couple good rails there at the heavy, but RAISY is more than comfortable just slowing things down with 2 minutes left, up 6. We might see that hyper defensive play there, and RAISY might just play hide and seek to ice this one out and claim the first map. All the pressure on DaHanG as he has to go on the hunt.
Interesting play from RAISY.
Oh, we hit him with a counter strike. Right around the corner, the LG forcing out the Ghostwalker. DaHanG has to chase now. Good rail, 3 HP. RAISY escaping into the sewer for the time being. He's just going to hug this wall and just eat time.
Who does this, RAISY? Who actually...
He does, because he used to play Counter-Strike, so he knows. He knows all the tricks.
God, man. DaHanG. I mean, it's like, it's the 1000 ELO play, right? This is why you don't even look there. It's like, no one's that dumb. Oh, wait. RAISY's that smart.
It's absolutely brilliant. 3 HP, make that 78. The stack is livable now, but the frag lead was already too high. 1 minute left, 6 frags. This one's in the bag for RAISY.
And he's just playing ring around rosies, and DaHanG struggling to keep up with him. As we said, similar move, good to see. The Ghostwalk is up. He might have to pop it offensively, but at the end of the day, as much as you want to say it, there is not time, 40. I'm telling you, there's not time.
I have never said it. I am quoting. I am quoting a famous philosopher when I say that. Not my words. As the push comes out, too little, too late. Though the shotgun blast will force out the Ghostwalk yet again. And I love the way RAISY plays. He gets that frag lead and then he just plays defensive, but not passive. He always has damage up, positioning, everything that he needs. The LG to deny DaHanG the rocket jump up.
And many people have said in the pro scene, RAISY plays unorthodox. And I think we've seen many examples of why people think that. And why that style of play is, it catches even the best players off guard. So once again, we saw many of opportunity where RAISY had substantial amount of control throughout, and he didn't, as he may have done in the past, press his advantage as much as he would have. Instead, he reserved himself, played positional, and worked particularly around his rail game to pressure DaHanG. So it was, as we said at the very start, a much more tempered and patient version of RAISY, which in many respects leaves him a lot less vulnerable and so exponentially more scary.
Really good opening rails, really good follow-up with shotgun, as we're going to see here, especially on a light champ like Nyx, just chunking him out, and also good reads after the Ghostwalk, and just in general, being able to make DaHanG pop Ghostwalk almost immediately off the spawn a few times, rendering Nyx completely vulnerable.
It was the execution of RAISY that really stood out again. Like, we know him for his aim, and the way he was able to catch these angles of DaHanG. And considering it, once again, DaHanG is the next a light champion, doesn't matter to RAISY, still back-to-back rails consistently. Super creative, and on the flip side, yes, it was the U7, but DaHanG was not hitting anywhere near as much as he should have been. And because of that, there was a couple of opportunities that he did mess out on, and the lead was way too large at the end of it.
And for what it's worth, that was DaHanG's map pick. So now we're going to go to RAISY's Keep, where he has been dominant. He has flubbed a little bit before as well, but he's on form. He's got Galena against a Ranger for DaHanG, and this could be a 2-0 here if DaHanG's not careful.
It could well be. We'll allow DaHanG to pick up the pressure just a little bit, but at the same time, as you say, it is RAISY's Keep. He's well known for being the one to take the advantage, plays the longer range game particularly well. DaHanG's going to have to watch himself in terms of the HMG, the spam coming out, because if he finds himself being chipped away at, RAISY's just going to be all over him.
Absolutely, and the totems in general, as we saw earlier, Galena on Molten Falls from RAISY. Yeah. He's got cheeky spots that he knows about, usually keeps a totem in his pocket. He might totem outside the telly as well, so he can kind of cover all of the bases here and have that information, that damage up, and just that overstack could be brutal if DaHanG doesn't deal with it.
Yeah, and we saw on Molten, I believe it was, RAISY getting the overstack so early without really any creative use of the totems. So as we mentioned then, it was, you need to just be conscious about all the facets of the game, and one of them is just playing Minesweeper and getting rid of the totems if and when you see them. And if you don't see them, you know something's up. You need to actually try and find them, because you cannot be fighting RAISY consistently overstacked. I mean, your life's hard enough anyway with a normal stack.
Absolutely, as we're live on map number 2 of this series. RAISY up 1 map already on the Galena.
Nice. Already taken out the first totem as well by DaHanG, so he's heeding our warning.
He's beginning to believe. The heavy machine gun chip a little bit from both players there. The 50 shard goes to RAISY. He wants to maintain this middle position. Items are synced up, so it's really on RAISY to see what he wants to do. And with that opening, he could really write his own destiny. But that rocket from DaHanG, a little bit of the Dire Orb as well. So much damage.
Yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to talk about the utility of the Ranger, but everyone knows it well by now. And the additional damage of that Dire Orb is enough in some of these engagements. Using it well already offensively. RAISY wants that help so badly, but DaHanG is isolating the area. RAISY is forced to retreat. He's a little bit stuck here. DaHanG knows exactly where he is, waiting for that overstack, but he's in a lot of trouble. DaHanG wants to push the initiative. RAISY hasn't got a rocket. Nevertheless, DaHanG playing it a bit safer. We'll be able to pick up both of these major items. So, RAISY on the retreat. Nice, nearly a full connection.
RAISY finally getting a rocket here. DaHanG does have full map control. RAISY was lucky to stay alive in that altercation earlier here, as now DaHanG has middle control, full map control in general, and he can kind of dictate the pace. RAISY is going to play defensive and slow, trying to find some rocket openings, defensive rockets as DaHanG comes in with LG. The rockets won't land, the Dire Orb into shotgun combo. DaHanG finds him and gets that frag.
This is where DaHanG really finds his stride, when he's got the rotation on both items, he's putting the pressure on, and this is what we said in the intro, is that this map allows him to then play that style. If he can get that early control, which he has done, I want to see this high tempo from him, because Galena can be vulnerable when she hasn't got her totems. She hasn't got the same mobility of Ranger, so you want to try and build on that fact.
I just love how slow and patient RAISY will play, sneaking around, not giving away his information, letting his opponent run all the way around, checking everything here. Lots of machine gun damage coming out. Good orb play from DaHanG to secure that Mega. The totem will do a lot of damage there as DaHanG goes through the telly, popping RAISY off towards the Mega. RAISY waiting, trying to get some more damage. He knows that DaHanG is pinned back and doesn't have Dire Orb. Needs to be careful. The LG coming out from DaHanG. Shaft on shaft.
Has done here is that he's done a lot of damage and he's delayed DaHanG. DaHanG trying to take the initiative, but RAISY spawned over by the heavy. So as much as it was a relatively psychotic and suicidal play, look what RAISY's achieved. He's managed to push in. He's also taken a fight over by the Mega. The shotgun is big, but not big enough. DaHanG retreats. RAISY is low, and you can see the game plan there.
Almost played to perfection there, but RAISY can't quite get the frag. DaHanG does have Dire Orb. More shotgun as RAISY's really weak in the red room. DaHanG is going to drop Dire Orb. Doesn't connect. 28 HP. Both players extremely weak. DaHanG a little bit better off. Needs to be careful, though. There's a 50 shard for him. Heavy's going to go towards RAISY. DaHanG spots it out, needs to get out. Rocket jumps to make sure he can get to the Mega, but RAISY is too fast. Cuts him off and gets the frag.
And now RAISY's got the momentum to hang without the weapons. RAISY's on the hunt. Misread his opponent's pathing there, and so misses out. Has to double back to try and pick up this light, and then the heavy. What's DaHanG going to do in this? In the meantime, it seems DaHanG will retreat to pick up the lightning gun, so that's something RAISY can expect now for him to have. And once there is a split between the items to allow whoever's in control, both of them. RAISY's just extending that split to make his life ever easier. What this now allows him to do is to push out between these pickups. When there's only a 5-second split, you need to rush between the two, and your opponent on the defense can delay you easier and do significant damage. When you increase that split, you get more flexibility to try and hunt your opponent down and pressure them off the map so they cannot isolate you around those items, so they cannot damage you in between the pickups. So RAISY's now got 10 seconds to hunt his opponent down rather than trying to just chase an item.
And he's got a really strong totem coming too. Almost has the overstack. There's the Dire Orb as DaHanG goes all in. Almost makes it work. There's the Mega. 4 HP. How did that happen? RAISY surviving by the skin of his teeth, and DaHanG almost had it, but tied at 2 now.
Indeed, the overstack is up as well. DaHanG won't realize this. RAISY doesn't want to push in because it is a doorway, but how indeed DaHanG messed that one up. It looked so promising after he stole that Mega away, but the shotgun just was not doing anything.
Definitely not helping him out. That rocket's not helping him out either. And the push with the LG, this might be another one. And the shotgun from RAISY, as RAISY says, this is how it's done. 3-2, taking the lead at the midway point.
3-2, overstack is up. DaHanG needs to make an effort to try and get onto the lightning to clear those totems out.
That totem's going to give him away. He was doing a good job of sneaking towards Rocket and LG, but RAISY knows exactly where he is, or at least a general area as he escaped through the red room, and RAISY very carefully clearing out as he claims his Mega.
And this is something DaHanG hasn't done as of yet in the first 5 minutes, is chip away at RAISY's stack with that mid-range game. To be fair, the game hasn't panned out and stabilized into this pattern just as yet, but now it has. This is where DaHanG needs to play smarter, use more spam. Just look at RAISY's rotation. DaHanG's not making himself shown on any of these pickups. And look at the stack differences, it's huge. RAISY makes the first engagement with the long range, pushes in through the side. And how smart is that read?
Unbelievable from RAISY, using that heavy machine gun, turning DaHanG into Swiss cheese, leaving him a little blue here as he's down to less than 50 HP. RAISY on the hunt, looking like an absolute monster right now. Only up 1, but still the control on the map is incredible from RAISY.
Stopwatch.
It is indeed, but at the minute, control and pressure is not being converted into frags, so that is a blessing for DaHanG as the scoreline is only 1 difference. Once again, that overstack is up. Should RAISY need it, he does unfortunately take it going through the telly, so that totem is now wasted. DaHanG is still on the run.
So selfish from RAISY, grabbing the Mega, overstacking with his totems. He has everything. Still only a frag lead, and that's huge.
For sure, but at the same time, we can see that because of that split, RAISY's doing what we said earlier, is that he's making the time between these pickups count, pressuring DaHanG, so DaHanG's not able to mount any sort of aggression onto RAISY, and RAISY is reading him at every turn.
Hang a little fortunate on that cross when RAISY had the tri-bolt out. It could have been a lot worse with rockets, but still not. Oh, there's the challenge for the position. There's the dire orb, and he gets the trade, luckily for RAISY, but that was well played from DaHanG. Saw an opportunity and he took it, but RAISY somehow just gets that frag back.
I mean, that's the accountant living up to his nickname there, working the timings to perfection, realizing it was the opportunity, the window he had to make himself felt, but now he's missed out on the Mega, and RAISY knows how weak the accountant is. Godslayer pushing in, not able to execute this time, and the game still remains at a 1 frag.
Decent LG there from DaHanG, no armor, but he's gonna have position on the heavy. He's gonna aggress fully. There's the dire orb again into LG, and RAISY giving up that frag. DaHanG standing strong, and he's gonna win out on this Mega potentially. RAISY trying to pressure off his spawn, trying to keep him weak, trying to fight for it. He's not gonna be able to get it, and he doesn't do a lot of damage either.
Really nice by DaHanG, the use of the orb to distort the combat. Not only additional burst, but completely offsetting the aim of RAISY and confusing him, so excellent job by DaHanG to stay in this tie. We're approaching the last minute and a half of this game, and we're absolutely leveled up in terms of stack and score.
So much LG as RAISY gets caught out jumping from behind the statue. The totem goes down for a little bit of insurance. The Mega's there just tempting him. There's a great rocket. Make that 2 and the LG. DaHanG in the lead.
DaHanG in the lead indeed, and has RAISY's tempered playstyle come up to bite him as he had the control for 7 minutes, but never sought to go full-on aggression and make that stack count. Just wanted to play a bit safer, and DaHanG worked around that. RAISY is trying to make a committal hit, but realizes now is maybe not the time. Although DaHanG actually missed timing that heavy this time.
It was a really good play as RAISY had upper control. He threw down the totem. If he was going to go through the telly, you're going to take the damage, or I could push you with my shotgun and do even more damage. HMG raging now. RAISY has to make something happen. Less than a minute on the board. Dire Orb will be up temporarily for DaHanG. That's going to help for any kind of escape that he might need. 40 seconds left as DaHanG trying to hang on for dear life here.
Cannot be wasting that. The dire orb will be key here. Goes for the burst instead of RAISY. He's way too healthy. He's got the totem to his name as well. He's found to hang off the spawn. Will he rocket jump up here? No, plays it safe. He's got plenty of time before the heavy. He knows DaHanG needs the rocket. This is where he's going. He's going to make it count now. Can DaHanG hit the rockets of his life? He's going to have to if he's going to survive. As they're both low, the rockets come out, but the shotgun comes out, and that is stronger. RAISY takes the lead with 15 seconds to go, but he's weak and DaHanG knows it. There's no orb, but he knows where he is. He's pushing up. He's taking a totem. He's taking a rocket. RAISY needs to run. There's 5 seconds, and DaHanG has gone the wrong way. It looks to be over 40 as RAISY runs into the light room, but DaHanG cannot find him in time. RAISY takes the second map.
Wow. So back and forth near the end there. That's so unfortunate. Right off the spawn, DaHanG really had no choice. He wanted a rocket. The totem was already in the way. The rocket just right in the face. Just really well played by RAISY. It looked shaky there for a minute. DaHanG was coming back. He was taking inventory, auditing, but RAISY said, I'm good, man. I'm good, thank you. So he goes up 2-0.
He goes up 2-0, and it was, as you said, extremely well played by DaHanG. I felt RAISY was too reserved. I mean, I liked the strategy, but there were times where I felt he definitely could have taken more impetus and taken the initiative. The last minute where the pressure was on, that's more characteristic RAISY, taking and forcing these fights and really confronting DaHanG head on, and that's where we saw DaHanG not being able to execute as well as he was earlier in the game. Respect obviously shown by both sides, and it was incredibly close and sets up DaHanG pretty well going into the third map, although we are now heading back to the European server.
Again, the execution from DaHanG just a little bit off, a hair off literally with shotgun, as some of those dire roar plays were perfectly timed, as you mentioned. DaHanG known for his item timing, but just couldn't come up big when he needed it. RAISY surviving by 3 and 14 HP after some fights. Very, very close call there, but we are going to head into the third map shortly. RAISY has Eisen, DaHanG has Keel, and we're going into Veil. So although Keel outstacks Eisen immensely, has that refrag capability, the problem here is the setups with the turret, as we've seen throughout the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's horrid. It's just such a pesty, I can't even say the word, pesky. I don't even know what pest
Well, it's a pest too. It could be both. I'll allow it.
Yeah, sure, why not? Pesty tool. I can't. I just can't do it.
It's pesky. Okay, I got you. That's why we're a team.
And particularly the setup up on the high ground over by the heavy mega bridge area. We've seen so many times this week, and it's just doing an incredible amount of damage. And as we saw in the Venga Rafa game, the way you can use it to distract your opponent or mitigate damage output, again, is somewhat underrated, and it's difficult to discern when you're just watching the game. But so that's going to be something to account for. But at the same time, the Pineapple Man, there's some good opportunities for him just to consolidate his presence up on the bridge area, and some very useful Pineapple angles as well.
I mean, this is it. This is the last stand for DaHanG. He's got to serve up that Citrus tournament life on the line here as RAISY's looking to advance. And we'll see if he can do it. This one, it all comes down to this.
It all comes down to this. I know you're not a man of probabilities, but since we're assessing the accountant, I'm asking you for what's your chances of DaHanG survival, or can he take it at least a map in this series?
I think he could take this one. It's going to be close. I mean, RAISY is absolutely no slouch, as you've seen, and if he gets a big lead, hyper defensive play, it's almost impossible to break his defense. But I think DaHanG, he knows the pressure's on. I think he could at least take this map, and then going forward, we'll see if he could do the full reverse sweep, which is going to be immensely hard. But I think this one might be in favor of DaHanG.
Let's hope so. We saw RAISY play this map earlier today, and he played it, again, very standard, very careful. It was against Chain, and Chain's rail was good, but it still didn't offset the kind of damage potential of RAISY. So for me, DaHanG needs to definitely improve the rail that we saw earlier in the day if he's going to be able to stand a chance on this, and needs to work around that stack of Keel as well. As you said, the stack potential is huge. That's going to be the biggest two factors I see going into this one.
I agree immensely. And the thing about DaHanG, I don't know if you've ever popped into a stream, or the people of chat have had the pleasure of watching him. Sometimes when he misses a bunch of rails, he gets in his own head. DaHanG, the accountant, likes to talk to himself and be like, great, Tim, that was a great shot, fantastic. So we'll see if that affects him.
Third person?
Oh, absolutely.
Pats himself on the back?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's a pleasure. It's a joy. And hopefully this map will be the same here, as we're going to get into it shortly. Again, DaHanG's tournament life on the line. Can he extend the series, or is RAISY going to get a clean sweep on the Liquid Man 3-0? If you had to say, I'm assuming you're going to lean towards RAISY, huh?
Yeah, I'm still going to stick on a 3-0. I think it's going to be hard for DaHanG to come back on this one. We've seen when RAISY turns it up a level, it doesn't feel that
No faith in NA, huh?
I've got faith in Rafa and your dress sense.
Ooh, I've never heard that one before, but now you're just flirting. I appreciate it, and yeah, I mean, in a world where DaHanG somehow reverse sweeps, he still has to fight off Wenger, and then we can see an all-NA grand final. I'm sure half a chat would hate that. That would be fantastic, but let's focus in on this one. Map number 3 coming up shortly. Veil, RAISY, DaHanG, and it all comes down to this. Again, DaHanG's tournament life on the line, as I'm sure Rafa is pacing back and forth behind him, hoping for the best.
I'm sure, and obviously it definitely helps being able to talk to someone of caliber, the Rafa of caliber, and understand what he would see in this matchup. But at the end of the day, DaHanG needs to take it on the chin and find a way to beat RAISY, who looks fairly unbeatable at this point in time. Pineapples come out, there's an engagement over by the Mega, which has not yet been picked up. DaHanG may not be aware of the timing, so needs to be careful for the next engagement up on the high ground. The heavy is 10 seconds before. This is what RAISY is setting up for. DaHanG is moving across the map, seemingly to set up for that mega, but as we spoke about, maybe unwittingly, we'll get caught out on this one. Nice
Wow, that
by RAISY.
position, so good from RAISY, being able to lob those tri-balls uncontested here and claim that heavy, and now he has position on the mega as well. The turret's still up there. Just gets taken out by DaHanG actually, but still that buys RAISY enough time to just grab both items.
It does, and if DaHanG doesn't want to compete for the major items, it's not as big of a threat to him, given that he has the stack of Keel to fall back on with just the lights, but he's very much cornered here as RAISY has now pinned him away from this heavy. Nevertheless, the stack comes out to play as 20 health is all he needs to survive that one.
Flexing the stack indeed, needs to be careful of the rail. He's going to grab the mega, and he should be able to fight for this. Really well done there. The turret's still alive. You can handle that with nails easily. Rail, fantastic.
Nice rail by RAISY, but a good retaliation by DaHanG as the oppressive comes out. Just in time for this heavy as well. And perfect rotation of the items. DaHanG pushing into this room, knows RAISY's trapped, uses the pineapple to trap his opponent. RAISY takes to the low ground. DaHanG doesn't want to drop onto that lightning gun though. We've seen many a fool get trapped in that environment where you think RAISY's vulnerable and then he just pins you to the sky. But the safer play comes up from DaHanG as he then slows the game down. He knows RAISY might be coming through this area. Doesn't want to get caught out.
On the middle ground now, RAISY lying in wait for this heavy, begging DaHanG to drop, and there he is. He's gone. He's out of there as he swapped positions. 10 seconds until the mega though, so DaHanG has a little bit of time to hunt, trying to find exactly where RAISY has run off to. It's a good defensive rail here as he's trying to hold position. The turret comes out for a little bit of insurance, and another rail on DaHanG forces him off the mega.
Yeah, the pace was a little bit too slow from DaHanG. He allowed RAISY to set up, get ready for that mega, and stalling. The cut-off play from RAISY was immaculate as he hit so much damage with DaHanG, and just look how weak he is now. If another rail comes out, DaHanG will be in trouble, but he managed to sneak away, pick up at least one light for now. He can't make a move onto this mega because RAISY is there and RAISY is healthy. The grenades and the rocket will be enough to stall any advances from RAISY, but once again, it is looking like a matter of time as RAISY has a good lockdown on both major items. DaHanG is relegated to the catacombs.
Looking for some rail angles as he's waiting for that 50 shard in the window area here. Barreling through the Thunderdome, trying to make his way up to the mega. Heavy's going to be first. RAISY gets it without breaking a sweat. Turret in his back pocket here. A little bit of pineapples down the corridor. That'll force RAISY down onto the middle ground here. So now he's going from lower. There it is, a pineapple through the telly, but the totem, or the turret, excuse me, is up as well. DaHanG forced down into the acid room. Needs to be very careful to get trapped here. What a play from RAISY.
And there's the power of the turret. It happened earlier in the game where there was a direct rocket, which I thought booped RAISY, but it was just a turret. And once again, the turret blocking the damage of the pineapple. And when it's such a tight-knit corridor, that turret just soaks up so much damage when you're using it in front of you in these engagements.
Absolutely right, RAISY using that as a defensive mechanism as well. Again, blocking damage, maybe even some vision sometimes as rails coming out from DaHanG here. Turret goes down in the window area for RAISY as he wants to claim this mega. But yeah, it could be a little disorienting because sometimes you'll get the damage and maybe the damage numbers are a little obscured and you're like, did I just hit him for 100 or the turret?
Exactly. It comes down to your interpretation, and you need to guess at some of these times. I mean, you can often tell which one it is, but when it's so close and you're standing on the turret, it can be disorientating a little bit. Once again, we're being treated to a slow pace, prodding game until now, where RAISY bumps himself through the teleporter, using that speed advantage and completely catches DaHanG off guard, and that stack won't save DaHanG as he's caught unsighted. The heavy's also not up for a good few seconds, and RAISY's done a good job of keeping this split between the items going.
RAISY's just so good at that play there, boosting off the pillar. There's the LG swap to rocket up close. The shotgun gonna do some work for DaHanG, but surely he goes down and he does. The LG tickles enough. Good damage though, but RAISY has so many items to work with as he can get back to this mega. Good rocket as well. Through the telly, the rail will hit, but it won't be enough. RAISY claims the mega, and DaHanG on the back foot now, getting caught out again. LG for RAISY 4-1. This is starting to look real bad.
Starting shotgun, not too much damage, and he makes the move across. He steals it away, but he does die. There is a window of opportunity now, but RAISY's already set up to nullify the starting stack bonus that DaHanG is blessed with. He's pushing up very aggressively because he has that rail. He hits 2 rails in a row. It's exactly what he needed to do. Eliminates the turret, and it is just before the major item spawn.
2 for 2, and that was huge. As DaHanG, 2 frags now, down by 3. Approaching the 6-minute mark here. It's going to be a tough fight for DaHanG. He's going to take the fight right to him with a rocket jump up. A little bit of pineapples. RAISY has really nothing, and there's the shotgun from long distance. Just the chip DaHanG needed to put up his 3rd frag.
Oh, DaHanG moves away just at the wrong second. They both trade rails. Whose favor is that in? At the moment, nobody is. They trade again, but DaHanG is the one in position for the Mega, so he's the one on the advance. He needs to find RAISY because RAISY's low, and that's a great little zoom rail through the grate.
Beautiful drop rail from DaHanG. And he's heating up here. LG on LG needs to be careful. He's going to go grab that 50 shard, knowing that Mega's not up for another 10 seconds, so he has the time. It's just a matter of how he wants to try and rotate through, and RAISY with the reads, the rockets, stopping DaHanG dead in his tracks, winning himself the Mega, and now he has upper position for the heavy as well.
That's something RAISY's done particularly well against Keel on this map so far. Is he finds these positions in his reads to hold strong choke points and cut off areas, wins himself both major items. He knows that he can go on the aggressive now. The grenades are good, stopping RAISY in his tracks. And whilst DaHanG didn't do a lot of damage, he did enough.
That pineapple was so clutch. Ooh, but that rail was even better. 6 HP. DaHanG reeling right now. And RAISY smells blood. Shotgun to end it. 7:20 in. 6-4. This one is very, very tight. RAISY going a little crazy here. Things are getting a little hazy for DaHanG as LG on LG here. And now he's pushing up daisies. Goes down again. 7-4 for RAISY.
The game is slowly spiraling out of control for DaHanG as RAISY. He senses blood once again with his opponent. He's got him trapped in the area, turret one side, RAISY the other. The damage is strong, and DaHanG is not retaliating anywhere near strong enough. 4 frags of difference, 2 minutes to go. Once again, RAISY holding the angle. This time he does miss a rail. And DaHanG's going to have to make a move and make it soon because we're running out of time.
2 minutes left. He's got to start barreling in there with rockets, grenades, whatever he can. As good LG from down below. RAISY holding the middle ground. DaHanG trying to rain down rockets on that churro and grab that heavy. There's the rocket jump. Picks him out of the sky with a rail. Does double back to the heavy. DaHanG doing so much damage, hitting everything, and that bounce pineapple gets him the frag. But 6 HP off the spawn. RAISY should know that DaHanG's pretty weak, but also he's up 3. Doesn't have to press the situation at all.
No, he doesn't, but as Rafa alluded to in his interview, sometimes you really do need to keep the pressure onto your opponent, otherwise you will just open up the game for them to keep pressuring you. You cannot relinquish that pressure. Yes, you don't want to go hard committal on these items, but you cannot let them take them for free, and RAISY doesn't. He steals away that heavy by distracting DaHanG in the light armor room. And that might have won him the game now because there's only a minute to go and DaHanG isn't strong enough to rocket jump up or to charge into RAISY, but at the end of the day, he's going to have to.
As time ticks away, it looks like the Godslayer might get away with tax evasion here. Rockets, pineapples, anything DaHanG can do, but he gets tickled and melted. 9-5, less than a minute left. RAISY has done it, I think.
I think he's done it as well. Moments of craziness. RAISY doesn't even want to commit. He said, I'm going to use it as bait. It's not worth doing anything. Here's his opponent behind him and decides to drop at the last second. And he will just wind the clock down now. Doesn't even need to move. Just going to use his audio cues to deal some damage if he's being rushed. Otherwise, he'll back off to another direction and take a well-deserved 3-0 victory over DaHanG.
Really, really well played. Earning his advancement and the run back for his teammate, Wenger, as all of NA collectively sighs. DaHanG gets knocked out. That'll be the end of his tournament here. Rafa, the last hope for NA.
He may be the last hope, but I think we have to say he's got the greatest hope of winning this event so far, as we will now have a Maestro matchup in the lower bracket finals as RAISY knocks out the Liquid compatriot DaHanG. Unfortunate, but he did very well to make it this far. What was your take on that match, 40?
Solid run. It's just unfortunate there. Glimpses of brilliance from DaHanG. It was just too much in the end from RAISY, just hitting everything. A lot of the trades went in his favor. DaHanG did get some of the trades, but ended up super low. And by the time he actually got those frags, and even though RAISY was giving up items, he was giving them up because there's a minute or two left, and he could just play that hyper defensive style that we've seen time and time again when he has the lead. It's unfortunate, but a great run from DaHanG, and props to RAISY making it through, and now he gets his run back against Wenger.